Hi everyone, welcome to our next lecture on the Rankine cycle. In this lecture, we are going to study the effects of various operating conditions on the Rankine cycle. Before that, in short, I will explain what is Rankine cycle. Rankine cycle have four processes. Two are the heat transfer processes and two are the work transfer processes. In this Rankine cycle, 4 to 1 is the heat addition process in the boiler and 2 to 3 is the heat rejection process in the condenser. 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are the work transfer processes, and here 1 to 2, during this process you will get work of turbine WT, and we have to provide WP amount of work for the pump. Then net work will be work of turbine minus work of pump. This will be the net work. Now, which are these processes? These four processes are constant pressure and isentropic processes. Now, 4 to 1 is the constant pressure heat addition in the boiler or with the help of boiler in the steam, and 2 to 3 is the heat rejection process by the steam in the condenser, and 1 to 2 and 3 to 4, these are the isentropic expansion and isentropic compression processes in the turbine and the pump. Side by side you can see this is a inlet to the turbine, point 1, and 2 is the exit of the turbine. 3 to 4, this is the compression process in the pump or pressure raising of a water from condenser pressure to the boiler pressure. Then 4 to 1 is the heat addition process in the boiler. Then we have seen how to calculate the performance of a Rankine cycle, in which the performance of a Rankine cycle is indicated by the efficiency, which is the ratio of net work to the heat supplied, and net work is the difference between work of turbine minus work of pump divided by heat supplied in the boiler. This efficiency is calculated in terms of enthalpies, and this subscripts 1, 2, 3, 4 of the enthalpy indicates the inlet and outlet conditions of turbine and the pump. Then the efficiency of a Rankine cycle you can see here, which is a 1 minus H2 minus S3, which is nothing but the heat rejected in the condenser divided by H1 minus H4, which is nothing but the heat supplied in the boiler. So this is the efficiency formula for Rankine cycle. Then we have seen the various terms like steam rate, heat rate, and steam rate is nothing but the rate of steam required to produce 1 kilowatt shaft power, and heat rate is nothing but rate of heat required to produce the 1 kilowatt shaft power. These are the assumptions made in the working of a Rankine cycle. These are the various assumptions made in the working of a Rankine cycle, so that we have seen in the last lecture. Now let us see this Rankine cycle on the various planes, which help us to see the effect of various operating conditions on the performance of a Rankine cycle. These diagrams will help us. Basically, we are going to study or referring TS and HS diagrams for studying the effect of various operating conditions on the performance of a Rankine cycle. Now first we will see what is the effect of lowering the condenser pressure. on the performance of a Rankine cycle. If you reduce the condenser pressure, then what happens? Now here you can see the initial cycle or a reference cycle is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the reference cycle. Then if you reduce the condenser pressure from P2, this is a pressure P2, I will draw with a green color. Green color line is the reference pressure or initial pressure. Now this pressure is reduced to P2 dash, that I will mark as a red color line. Red color line is the P2 dash pressure. So condenser pressure is reduced from P2 to P2 dash. Then what is the effect of effect of this lowering the pressure on the performance of a cycle? Now the final or modified cycle is 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. This is the modified cycle after reducing the condenser pressure. Now see the effect. We'll see the effect. What is the effect? If you see, this colored one is the increased area because of the lowering the pressure. The area below area inside this cycle 4 to 2-3 4, this area we are getting additional area compared with the reference cycle, which indicates that on TS plane, area inside the cycle is nothing but the heat transfer. So in area inside the cycle, which cycle? 1, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash, 1. Area inside this cycle is increased compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is our reference cycle. So area is increased, and how much area is increased? That increased area here we have highlighted. It means that heat supplied because of lowering the condenser pressure increases. So we have made one conclusion: heat supplied increases. What happens to the heat rejections? Heat rejection. If you see the heat rejections, initially the heat rejection area is this much amount of heat rejections will be there. Now this area is reduced. Okay, now this area is reduced. How much it is reduced? Now I will draw. The green colored hatching is nothing but the final heat rejections, quantity of final heat rejections. If you compare with initial heat rejections, this heat rejection is reduced. Okay, so load on the condenser reduces. If you reduce the condenser pressure, load on the condenser reduces. Then if you see the now performance of a Rankine cycle formula, which is 1 minus QR divided by QS. Now QR is reduced. If you see, QR is reduced and QS is increased, which indicates that efficiency of a Rankine cycle increases. Okay, so by lowering the condenser pressure, performance of a Rankine cycle increases. Whether it has any limitations, means as we are getting more improvement in the performance, can we reduce the pressure P2 very low pressure? What is the limitations of lowering the pressure P2? That we need to study. So what should be the lowest pressure at which we can operate the thermal power plant? If you reduce the pressure, correspondingly saturated temperature also reduces, and their saturated temperature also reduces. Then T atmospheric and T saturated temperature, this difference minimum it should be 10 degrees Celsius. 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. If atmospheric temperature is at 25 degrees Celsius, then T saturated must be 15 degrees Celsius for a good heat transfer between the condenser temperature and the atmospheric temperature. So from this we can fix the T saturated temperature, and if you fix the T saturated temperature, correspondingly P2 pressure is fixed. Okay, so the lower or the condenser pressure depends upon the how much is the surrounding or atmospheric or the temperature at which we are rejecting the heat. Okay, so from this we can conclude that this P2, minimum pressure P2, depends upon the temperature at which we are rejecting heat into the atmosphere. By lowering the condenser pressure, performance of a cycle increases. So this is the conclusion. In the next video, we are going to study what happens if you superheat the steam. So that we are going to study in the next lecture. So thank you.